The hottest team in Adelaide hockey looking to extend their winning streak to 5 games, while the Falcons look to break a 7-game losing streak of their own. Welcome inside the ice arena on beautiful Ghana land for our coverage here on NITV and the Ice Arena. I am Eric Ballnar, joined by Ryan Rentala making his commentary debut, and goaltender superstar Jeremy Friedrich for what could be a very interesting matchup tonight.
I think it will be. The Falcons have struggled as of late, but they're a team that likes to bounce back. They're a team that likes to come out hard, and they give every team a run in this league, so it'll be a good game to watch for sure.
For sure. I think the big thing they need to watch is that 470 shots you said they faced this year, and you having the second most, like 260 or something. Yeah. They really got to watch that this for the season.
It's big shot volume, but a goaltender is only as good as the team that plays in front of them sometimes, and right now the Tigers are as hot as anyone, and that actually might start with their goaltender. Glenn Forbes-White has been one of the best goalies in the competition over the last couple weeks.
He has, and look, we know to expect that from Glenn. He's always been a quality goaltender. He's done it for years, and I think it was just a bit of a push this year. I think now he's really found his stride, and it's going to be a big difference to the Tigers' push for finals, and even just a challenge to the Red Wings and ourselves at the top of the ladder there.
On screen, you can see some saves from Glenn Forbes-White last week. Ryan, this was your team playing against Glenn Forbes-White. You had some chances against him, but you couldn't find ways to get it past him.
Yeah, Glenn was really good on the angles. Oh, watch this. We got Matus out tonight. Yeah, Glenn really played the angles well and really stopped us from getting rebounds in front of the net. We had a lot of wide shots, didn't have any clean things right up the middle. And he had some big saves on Steve and Dylan right down the stretch, so he had a great game.
He was fantastic. This one early in the third period in particular. He's making those saves right now that's keeping the team in the games when they need him the most. The Tigers, their last 2 games, they've won 2-0 versus the Jokers and 4-1 versus the Red Wings. That's the first time in almost 3 seasons where they've gone back-to-back games allowing less than 2 goals. That's going to set them up well.
It was. Even against us, that first game that started their little streak, that was an incredible game from Glenn Forbes-White. He really kept them in it, and he did a very good job of just keeping the things controlled and calm at the back. He's got so much experience there.
So the question on screen right now, as you see Glenn Forbes-White's numbers, who's going to start for the Falcons? Matus was hurt the last game. He didn't play. Michelle Kunin, we were hearing some grumblings that she might be the starting goaltender tonight. Those are her numbers on screens. She allowed, it was a tough game for the last time they played. The Falcons didn't really give her a lot of support. It'll be interesting to see what difference that makes depending on the goalie that plays.
Correct. Matus is a huge part of their team. He keeps them in games that are frequently, as we said with the shots, 470 he's faced this season. So, if he's in the net, I think they got a fighting chance. Even with Michelle in there, she's really good, but they're going to need to keep the shots wide all night long.
You can see Matus kind of skating gingerly around. Michelle Kunin is now on the ice. Jeremy, Michelle, a goaltender that, she's been a dominant figure in the state for a while. She's played for the Adelaide Rush, the Australian national team, played college hockey over in the States. You're a goaltender yourself, probably someone that you've looked up to, fair to say, growing up in South Australia?
I have. She's the only other full right goalie that I'm aware of in the state that plays at such a high level. So, there's very few of us, and it was very nice to have someone to be able to watch and to look up to. And, there is absolutely no way you can write off the Falcons if she starts tonight. She's made a difference every time she's stepped up. She's a big game player, and she'll thrive off the fact that she's versing a team like the Tigers. The Falcons do a very good job, actually. We do talk about the high volume of shots. They usually keep it to the outside. They block the middle. They do a very good job of keeping teams to the outside, letting their goalies do what they do best. And they've got 2 very good goalies here tonight that could steal the show just as well as Glenn Forbes-White could down the other end.
When you've been playing against them as a Red Wings player for the Falcons, when they've been playing well, I know they've only won 1 game this year, but every team has those stretches. They can frustrate you.
Yeah, very true. When they really start playing the body and they're really intense with their gameplay, and they play as a team, that's when they do well. They start to struggle when they start to try to play the long passes and the extending the play a bit much. If they actually just keep it together as a team, they do really well. One
person they need to slow down is that man on screen, Zach Boyle. He's got 18 points on the season, but 10 of them have come in the last 4 games during this win streak, including 4 points versus the Red Wings last week. Safe to say a player that can give opponents fits.
He's a national level player. You always got to watch out for him.
Yeah, Zach's made a difference. And you know what? That kind of comes down to when a team like the Tigers start playing well, it's usually their top stars that start making a difference. You can always expect goals from McDougall and guys like that, and Fowler. They're always going to be on the score sheet. But when their defensemen like Zach Boyle start jumping up in the play and getting points, that team's hot. That team's winning games.
Fair to say that the Falcons need a little bit more offense. Their leading point getter is Josh Holland. He's got 11 points in 13 games. A big step up from his point production last year, a player that started to emerge on the forefront here in Ice Hockey SA, and probably someone that the Falcons need to rely on even more to get some goals.
True. I think we were talking before the game that they need to be a little more aggressive with the counterattack. So maybe looking for Zoli to get that puck turnover quick and get it up the ice real fast to him.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit more about that. When we were breaking down this game before the week, Ryan, I know you were heavy on that, is that they can't get, I think the word you used was complacent.
Correct. I think we were talking about the Tigers when we were saying that, though, because we were talking when they start to play as individuals, they really lose that team chemistry. The way they beat us last week is they really play as a team. They ran a hard forecheck when they had a lot of good support coming up the ice. So we had a hard time. We got stuck in our own end a bunch of times. Even the second period was really bad. So, I think that's their key to victory tonight. If they don't get complacent, they stay in the flow, and they actually trust each other as a team.
And meanwhile, probably for the battle for the Falcons, it's about winning those puck battles in front of the net and don't giving up anything to the goaltender.
True. They need to keep all those shots away as much as possible and keep them wide. Jeremy can attest, it's so much easier to stop a puck from coming from a bad angle than right through the center.
It is. And the Falcons have been very good at doing that at times. And, when you're a team that's slumping like this and that you've lost a couple games in a row, if not more, and you're coming up against a hot team, you'll fancy the underdog story in a way. You'll thrive off that. And a lot of these guys might have come here today not expecting much out of the game, but you can trust leaders on this team like Zoli, like Corey Smith, to reel these guys in, give them a bit of motivation, and really hope to see something come out of these guys that they haven't seen for a while.
We've had one game since we saw everybody last on the live streams or on NITV, and that was a game on the weekend. The Jokers, they won 10-0 over the Falcons. The Falcons have now lost their last two games by a combined score of 16-0, only getting 23 shots in that time. The Tigers, like we said, they're on a 4-game win streak. They're now in second place in the league. There's 9 games to go. If they run the table, they have a shot at finishing first place, but they've got to pretty much win out, is what we're saying, for them to finish first place and then get a little bit of help from the Jokers. But this is a Tigers team that might be able to do that the way they're looking.
It's very true. They have so much firepower. When they play like a team, they're super solid.
And it's going to set it up for a couple interesting live streams in the next couple weeks, because next week, the Red Wings versus the Jokers, and then the Tigers versus the Jokers in the following week. Those 2 weeks coming up, or these 3 weeks, really might start to tell us what this final situation is going to look like.
I'm extremely excited to be able to play back-to-back games like that on stream. I think we're going to be lucky that we're going to have 2 amazing back-to-back games, and you see that throughout the whole league. There's been very few games that you can sit here and go, that wasn't a very interesting one to watch. So, I'm really excited to see how that pans out. Obviously, as a Joker, I'd rather not see the Tigers rack up any points and give us too much of a challenge. But the way we've been playing, we can't get complacent either. And having a team like this that starts chasing you, it keeps you on your toes. Especially a young team like us, we need to make sure that it doesn't get to our heads and we don't start panicking.
Ins and outs for the lineup today. A big out. The question mark is Matus Trinka. Is he starting? Is he not? We'll know in just a moment. And Connor Smith, a young gun, very good skater, also out for the Falcons. For the Tigers, the notable out there is Ben Gebert, not in the lineup tonight. That's a key player who's provided a lot of offense and stability on the back end.
True. Not even stability, or stability would be the right word. The second he gets the puck, he likes to turn around and make a great pass. In the past, we were able to put a little pressure on him as our team, or on their defense, to get a couple turnovers there. But he's been so solid in executing the breakout pass that it's just it's changed their whole breakout, to be honest.
Well, there's a look at the Tigers bench, and Ryan O'Hanley, Jai Sarchich. They're only running with 7 forwards today, so he's going to be that extra man rotating things through. So let's take a look at the keys to victory for tonight's games. For the Tigers and the Falcons, what will each of these teams have done well if at the end of this game in 60 minutes we are saying that they've won? For the Tigers, we before me and stay tame.
Yeah, look, and we've said this at the start of the broadcast, the Tigers are a team that when they get frustrated, when they start losing, they play individually. Yeah. There's enough experience on this lineup and on the coaching staff to make sure that doesn't happen, and when you're buzzing, you're doing it well.
And the Falcons, meanwhile, a couple key things they have to worry about.
don't get complacent and make sure they support the goaltender, whether it's Kunin or Matus. They got to really keep those shots wide and make sure they keep doing all the little things that get the good win out of this.
We were talking in the week before as it's Michelle Kunin skating out before. You got to trust sometimes that you've got a good goaltender in net and take some offensive chances to provide some offensive support too.
True. Yep. It's very simple. You look at the standings at this point. Falcons have scored 1.69 goals a game, and they're letting in 5.77. They're not favourable numbers. No, you won't. Yeah, and that's where you've got to stop babying the goalie as much and start going out and getting risky, taking those risks, because goalies like Michelle and Matus, they make a difference.
Yep.
Falcons and Tigers underway at the Ice Arena on NITV on beautiful Ghana land. Falcons in blue, Tigers in white. Tigers winners of 4 in a row. Falcons losers of 7. Will something give? Will one of these streaks or both of these streaks come to an end tonight, or will they both continue? It can really only go one way, to be honest, as the Tigers start on the attack, but it's finally wrangled out by the Falcons. Greg McNair flicks this forward to Brandon Taylor, getting some time on the top line. Jan Kubek yet to score this year, but boy, oh boy, is he having a really nice season. He's got 14 assists in his game so far.
Yeah, he really draws people to him. It really helps the other forwards find a lot of openings. So he's pretty dangerous as a shooter, but sometimes that pass is even more dangerous.
Michelle Kunin makes the first save of the game. Always important to get the first one. There's a look at her. Getting her second start in Premier League this season. The Adelaide Rush goaltender, an Australian national team netminder. I'm sure she's fired up for this game to show just exactly what she can do. And boy, oh boy, she's going to have to play a huge factor if the Falcons are going to win, and they're just going to dump the puck and go for icing. And with runtime, you can afford to ice the puck a few times.
You can, especially when the team starts getting a bit too much momentum. I think when your opponents have got that momentum, or another one is they've got way more legs on you. If they've got a lot more players, you'll take that icing. That change will make a lot more of a difference to them than it will to you.
McDougall wins the draw. Long shot from the point from Zach Boyle. And those two players have been firing on all cylinders. They combined for 7 points in their last game versus the Red Wings.
On that last point, though, Zoli was so quick to get to the puck. That's one really good thing they're already starting to do. You're seeing a lot of good features. The Falcons are really rushing to the puck when it's open. So before, you've seen that they were a little complacent. They weren't quite getting there, and they're on it now. It looks like this might be a game.
Andrew Zoltarov, the captain of the Falcons, he's been a standout player, named to the very official Eric Bolnar All-Star team a couple weeks ago. Corey Smith banks it off the boards. Leading point getter Josh Holland can't quite control, but here comes danger. It's Joseph McDougall flying down the wing, cuts towards the middle of the ice, but Cinco got back to cut him off. He played the body, and he stopped a chance from the Tigers' leading point getter. Glenn Fole, the longest serving captain in international hockey, believe it or not. He's captained Australia for a couple decades. Not anymore, he's still playing, but believe it or not, he's turning 60 next year. Still got it, Glenn Fole. He plays it forward as Joey McDougall just banks this into the corner. They'll go off for a change. Tyler Boyle bangs around against Cinco, and Holland will play it up the boards. Henry Keane can't quite control. Fole has to go back and play it to Greg McNair. Jan Kubik stops it with his skate. Soccer Styles flicks it in to the zone, and the Falcons try to outlet the other direction, but Jan Kubik intercepts, and he almost gets around, but he's hauled down. And I think we're going to have our first agile group power play of the game from Jan Kubik getting hauled down as he entered the zone.
Yeah, look, it was a risky play, and you can see on your screen there, Cinco commits to the hit and just clips the leg of Kubik. It's a very basic tripping penalty. Probably one that you'd rather see Cinco try not to turn away from. You kind of saw him look away from Kubik as he was making the hit. Maybe just making sure that he's not getting beat to the inside like that and playing a more conservative game there.
However, if he lines that up and he actually connects with it, that's a big thing they need to do the whole night. They need to make sure they keep the Tigers on their toes. They can't just let them enter the zone so freely.
Tigers are 8 for 35 on the season. That's good for 23%. That was a generous percentage I almost gave it, but 23% on the season. But they're 1 for their last 20. Believe it or not, they've only got 1 power play goal during this 4-game win streak. A little surprising. That kind of goes against the grain of what you'd think. It was an important power play goal versus the Jokers, though, that put them up 1-0.
It was. That was a difference maker, and not one I like to look back on. But that being said, I think when you start getting numbers like that, it's when someone like Coach O'Hanley starts making changes. You got to try different things and see if that works for him.
Draw one, and Chester fires a shot in on goal. Now, granted, it is a bit harder in South Australia, given that there is runtime on the full 2 minutes, so teams try to milk those seconds, those valuable seconds in between face-offs to try to kill it off and use the clock to their advantage. Falcons, though, can't clear. They'll have to do better than that. Ryan Full, centering play, looking for his father, Glenn Full. He was pinching in from the point, but it's an easy clearance from the Falcons, and more seconds will eat off the clock. First agile group power play of the game for 2 minutes or less. Extra man for the Tigers. Zach Boyle finds Ryan Full, feeds Jan Kubek, looking for that first goal, fires a shot, but it's right at Michelle Kunin. She makes a nice save.
Man, he's such a lethal passer. It almost been nice to see him get down low and set up. They haven't really set up on the power play yet. It's just been long shots from outside.
Yeah, they're throwing the puck away a bit too much, which isn't something that you want to see when you're trying to settle into a game. Also, these long shots are going to get Kunin comfortable, and that's not going to be a good thing with a goalie like Kunin.
Draw one, flick back to the point. Glenn Full, tip shot, and that almost banked in. Tyler Boyles, he's got the hot stick right now for the Tigers. Had a goal and an assist in the win over the Red Wings. 10 points on the season, 7 of them goals, and 7 points against the Falcons. This is his team that he likes to play against, Tyler Boyle. Josh Holland gets the puck forward to Kyle Cinco. It's banked off a skate and into the boards. Knocked back to the point. Flicked over, Andrew Stapleton, the captain, intercepts, and he gloves it down to Joey McDougall. He's in all alone. McDougall walks and scores!
Showtime, showtime.
Showtime or Joe time? Joey McDougall puts the Tigers up just as the power play expired, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, that was a great clear. You know, that's something you'd see Benny do in the past. You know, we thought maybe they'd be missing him, but you know, that was an excellent play.
It was a very good breakout play, and you can see on your screen there, it's an unfortunate fall for Zoltarov there, but there was no support. I think the other defenseman kind of got caught too high up in the ice, and unfortunately just a very nice goal. And McDougall's going to score those breakaways every time. He's a very skilled player.
Yeah, that was a nice grab too.
Well, Joey McDougall is having a terrific season. He's now got 21 points on the year. That's 12 goals, 9 assists. This is his 11th game played. Last season, for reference, he had 25 points. So he's almost eclipsed that at the midway.
Yeah, he's really playing the body tonight too. You see a lot of physicality from him, which really sets him apart, I think, in my opinion.
Full whips the puck across, but now Yuri Solomonov might have a chance in all alone, and Glenn Forbes White had to come out to tip that one away. Here's Zoltarov back in his own end.
That's some composure making that pass. Hey,
it is, and he's comfortable in this level. You've seen him come out and play the puck. It's a very valued skill for any team to have a goaltender that can come and make a difference on the breakout. You know, it helps these guys push up the ice and look for those stretch passes.
Jan Kubek enters the zone again. He was trying to lead Ryan Full ahead. He's been held goalless the last 2 games. He's only not scored in 3 of them. He's got 14 on the season, tied for second in the comp. Now centering play, Ryan Full, absolutely denied by Michelle Kunin. Sticks the left leg out and takes that one away. Keeps it a 1-goal game. Falcons go back the other way. Quinton Tomlinson just cuts in, closes his eyes, and fires a shot and rattles off the backboards. Tigers have to go back and defend. Stapleton down in the corner has Ryan Full there for support. Zach Boyle plays it over to Greg McNair, and he'll skate around back. These teams did play a few weeks ago. That was the first win in the Tigers' 4-game win streak, and it was a 2-2 game late in the 3rd period. The Falcons kept it tight until the Tigers turned it on, and it was really from that moment on the Tigers have been a different team from that first intermission that we had with the dry ice cut, to be honest.
True. You saw earlier on that nice shot by Full, they had the play low and they really set up. I'd like to see them do more of that throughout the game. These long shots are turning into quick turnovers going the opposite direction.
This one goes for icing, so we'll go back all the way down the other way, but a Joey McDougall goal has the Tigers up 1-0.
Yeah, look, we talk about a lot of different things that the Falcons might be missing with Mateusz Trinka. I've got a very interesting stat for you. He leads the goalies in assists in this competition with 3. So that's also one that we were talking about, being able to play the puck. It's something that you admire, and you're able to watch him play as a 17-year-old, so composed with the puck. It's amazing to watch, and he makes a difference. And you know, if you ask him, he'll be the one to say that if his team's not providing enough offense, he'll just have to do it himself.
That would put Mateusz Trinka 8th on the Falcons in scoring as Boyle tips it forward. Although, Jeremy, I think you might be one of the only people that really cares about the competition for assists coming from a goaltender. Giveaway in front of the net, and Joey McDougall has to skate back and regain composure for the Tigers. Up to Tyler Boyle. He banks it in. He gets a good old shoulder from Quentin Tomlinson.
Quentin's a solid guy.
Quentin is a big guy. You run into him a couple times?
Haven't had the pleasure of it yet.
No, but he's always been solid like that, and you know what you're going to get from the Falcons. That's the one thing, is they stick to their game style and game plan. They know they're not the fanciest team. They know they don't have the skills, but they've got the drive, they've got the grit, and that was a simple hit. Maybe a little bit late, but again, it was close enough to the puck where it's clean, and Boyle had his head up and it wasn't too dangerous. So
what's
fine.
Hockey if it's not physical, right? As Jan Kubik tips this one wide. Zach Boyle, good job holding the line, flicks it in around the corner. Picked up along the near boards. Foul plays it down low, looking for Jan Kubek, and Corey Smith, the player coach of the Falcons. Outlets to Josh Holland. This line going to have to do some big things. Holland cuts in, and he's taken down. A nice defensive play. Greg McNair was the catalyst of that, breaking that one away. Holland throws it at net, tip just a little bit wide. Ryan Fohl plays this around the corner. Centering play in front. It was a loose puck. It was tipped. Those are the tough ones for the goaltenders. And this is going to go the other direction. And here comes Zach Boyle. Boyle, sharp angle, goes 5-hole, tips it across. Michelle Kunin makes the save. Rebound not totally cleared, though, as Stapleton keeps it in and plays it behind the goal.
What a great save that was. Zach really came down with the speed, got the angle. He looked like he had the 5-hole. Closed it up.
It did. She did really well to come out and challenge that. She trusted her defense not to let that puck go across the foul. That was a very good save from Kunin.
Here comes Ryan Fohl once again. He's going to flick it to himself in the corner. Andrew Stapleton, the captain, there to support, but it goes over his stick and into the corner. Yuri Solomonov is there. Plays it around the near boards. Rob Richards. Got a lot of joy playing this game, Rob Richards. He's come back after a long time not playing. Started playing A-grade. He's filling a need up in Premier League, and well, he looks like he's having a lot of fun out there. Ryan Leinonen, handy in back, returning from injury, banks it off the boards, and it's played by Jai Sarcic, but it goes right back to Jared Chester. Chester's been around the game a while in South Australia, one of the back in the original Adelaide Avalanche days. He's 40 now, but he was young buck, just 20-year-olds back in the day.
Yeah, look, if you ask a lot of people, he hasn't changed the way he plays, and that's something that's really important as you get up in age. Like someone like Glenn Fohl, he's just as effective as he used to be because he plays a smart game.
McDougall threw one in front. That got kicked out to the point where Tyler Boyle tried to play it across to Glenn Fohl, and going back to get this is Greg McNair. McNair tries to lead a man ahead, and icing waved off. Ryan Leinonen will scamper back and grab this one. Boyle there lays the body, creating a turnover on the forecheck, but Jared Chester was the first man back for the Falcons. Plays a long pass up the right side, sticked ahead from Glenn Fohl, picked up by Ryan Fohl. Ryan Fohl on the backhand, fluttered one up, and it just got tipped a little bit high. Falcons got to clear the zone here, but Glenn Fohl there strong on the puck, and finally it's going to be carried out by the Falcons, and the Tigers will have to reset. Tigers getting a little maybe frustrated here. It's just a one-shot hockey game. The Falcons will be fine with this one. If they could jag one here, they'd be loving life. Long pass ahead. It's into open ice in the neutral zone. Tipped ahead from Fohl. Taylor tries to get around, but Zoltarov created a turnover by just his presence.
They're really looking to play the body tonight. I think you'll also see Corey Smith coming out to play the body too. I think he's been missing from their lineup, so they haven't really had that physicality lately. I can tell you, he's one of the guys that catches you when you're sleeping.
Definitely, and he doesn't just bring the physicality, he brings the urge to bring physicality. You know, he's always on them about finishing their hits, and he's done that every team he's coached. And it's a different style of play, and you know what? That makes a difference when you're playing a fancy team that gets comfortable moving the puck a lot. You bring the body to them, and they start panicking a lot more.
Zoltarov threw a shot in on net that was almost tipped away, but how about the skating from Zoltarov? All the way back, all the way around, fires a shot testing the glove side of Glenn Forbes-White, but there's the captain. That's why he's on the All-Star team.
Yeah, he's dangerous too. He's the one that broke the shutout with their last game that was on the live feed too. So he came down and pops one off like that. You know, he can sneak one past Glenn for sure.
He can do amazing things, and he's a joy to watch as a smart defenseman. You know, a lot of the time in South Australia when juniors are coming up, they're forwards that get put back there because we don't have any D. You know, it's good to have guys that actually want to play defense. He makes a big difference, and the goalies appreciate him.
Well, don't forget, one of the last times they played, there was a fight between Jai Sarcic and Andrew Zoltarov. Now, Zoltarov wasn't in the lineup the last time they played the Tigers. He was out due to a niggling little injury, and he's back in the lineup today. So this is his first game back for Jai Sarcic, but that was a couple months ago now, but that was a fun fight to watch. Joey McDougall throws one on net. Kunin has to get down quickly. Jared Chester there to collect, plays it ahead. It goes all the way down. And that was smart. It was smart from Chester and then smart from Glenn Forbes-White to let that go.
Yeah. You saw him come out. He ran out of space. It was a good idea to get it out of there before he got in trouble. You notice they've had a lot of pressure down on that end, and they're just keeping it simple, getting it down low. It's still a really good game, I think.
That hard-working check you said in the keys to victory, they're ticking off right now for the Falcons.
They are. And the Tigers are being a little complacent, not getting it deep, not finishing those checks. That's one thing they did to us last week.
Chester banks it around the boards. Josh Holland gets a stick on it. This goes for icing again. I don't think the Falcons are going to be too upset with just a couple icings like this, even though they're conceding a face off the other end.
Well, what it does is it breaks down the tempo of the game. Once the Tigers start getting too much momentum, and this is where we're going to have to keep an eye on the checklist we had for the Tigers, is when it gets frustrating, when things aren't going your way, when you can't set up, that's when they're going to start playing too individual, and that's when it's going to start getting messy for them. Yeah,
that's those risks you were talking about, try to get those longer passes too, so that's checking the list off too.
Joey McDougall, look at him work behind the boards. He kicks it over to Tyler Boyo, who plays it back around the boards in the corners. A little bit of a miscommunication, but Jai Sarchich there to chip in. Big collision along the boards with Jared Chester, and Andrew Stapleton picks up the scraps. He's behind the goal. Stapleton works out wide. He cuts around, trying to evade Damon Hode. He gets hit, but he still stays alive, Andrew Stapleton working away, and finally the Falcons poke this free. It goes all the way for icing. Another couple chances from the Tigers, but the Falcons just escape. Here's a look at the hit I think we're going to get in the corner.
It was a nice follow-through from Chester. Sends Charchik flying back a bit there. But, no, look, I'm seeing a lot of the Tigers' heads thrown back and getting a bit of frustration here just throughout the icings, throughout the whistles, throughout the stoppages in play. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out.
Kubik wins the draw, goes back to the point for McNair, and this goes off a skate, and there's a chance for them to go away. Matty Wagner plays it off the left side. Corey Smith, this is the veteran line out there. Centering play in front. Oh, it was a nice play back from Glenn Full to make a stop, but the Falcons whip one on goal, and that one goes wide. Great opportunity from the veteran line out there of the Falcons. Here's Smith now in the corner. Chipping in is Zoltarov. And it's chipped out from Ryan Full. Scooping on this one is Brandon Taylor. He's got a man with him. Taylor tries to go high. It was a quick release. Coonan makes the save. She's made a couple nice ones, but here's the shot. Corey Smith in front of the net. And it was Glenn Full breaking it up.
It was a very good breakout from a line that had been out there for a while with the icing as well. So, no, that was a very good skate from three very experienced players. Wagner following up. That's a simple zone entry. You've got one
blocked, yeah.
You've got one driving the net, one guy taking it wide, and one up high. That's basic hockey, and it works.
I don't think, like you were saying, that as this one's out there, Rob Richards was almost away to the races. Yeah, but I don't think Glenn Forbes-White saw that last shot. It was the rear end of Greg McNair that kind of punched
McNair
that one away.
And Corey went right in front, trying to get that traffic in there. That'll give them a chance to score. That's what they really need to do tonight.
And Kubek almost fans on the pass. Instead, he cuts up the middle of the ice. And here comes Kubek looking for goal number one, and he almost had it, but it was tipped away from Michelle Coonan. Zoltarov, now he's skating. He's skating really well tonight. He was looking for Richards, too hot to handle. As McNair now toe drags Richards, tries to play it out. Zoltarov knocks it down, keeps it in, plays it towards the front of the net. Oh, it was a bobbling one. And now they're starting to get the goaltender a little uncomfortable.
You see the patience from Zoli from the pass. Oh, this isn't the same replay. On that offensive bit, Zoli waited till everyone collapsed on him, put it out in front of that guy, and they had a really good chance.
It was a very good one. Good save there from Coonan as well, and Kubek to go through the middle. But no, I was going to point out, Forbes-White very composed with the puck behind the net. You don't see it very often, but goalies like putting the stick there. It gets in the way of a very simple pass to the slot. So that was a very smart play from him, and then a very good job to juggle that puck and catch it.
Puck goes out of play. So it's just a 1-0 game. It was off a little neutral zone turnover. It left Joey McDougall, who, well, he's got a lot of goals this year. He's now got 12 on the season in all alone. Not much you could do for that one. And that is where we stand, 1-0 with 90 seconds to go in the opening period. Can the Falcons try to level the score? It's kicked in the corner, trying to work towards the slot, and there's Joey McDougall backtracking, picking up the puck, playing it around the corner, and Jared Chester will be there in his own end to pick it up. Chester off the boards. Banked in from Tomlinson. That goes for icing, so the clock will run down to the 1 minute mark, and the Tigers will have an offensive faceoff.
If he can get that pass to sit down, that's going to be a really good outlet. One other thing I was noticing is you notice Michelle's really been getting really good deflections, so she's really playing the puck to the corner well right now.
Yeah, she has. It's a very good rebound control that she's exerting out there, and it's making a difference because those pucks aren't bouncing out to the slot. They're in the corner. It's a lot easier for the D to handle as well.
Draw one from McDougall, goes right back to the point, and O'Hanley threw one on net. McDougall has been pretty efficient in the face-off circle so far.
Yeah, again, another long shot though, guys. That's another long shot. You know, she can see that for a long ways coming.
She can, and that was a very good rebound control again. I think at this point, the Falcons might just be looking to kill the period off. A 1-0 deficit at the end of the first is a very good one to take, and you can build a lot from that.
Clean draw one from McDougall again. Hanley fans on the shot, and Shiansky tries to chip this out. He looked like he had a man going down the left, and he just missed him. Tigers will reset, but they turn it over. Zoltarov is there, spins around one, chip back. Cinco trying to get hold of it, but it's Joey McDougall the other way, plays it to the left side. Tyler Boyle banked off the puck from Zoltarov. He swivels, but the puck's at the foot of Tyler Boyle. Stapleton joins the parade down low, and the puck finally bounces free. Stapleton backhanded pass into the slot, and it goes all the way back to the point. Sarchich playing defense right now with O'Hanley. Sarchich playing forward, playing defense. Two-way game right now. Tombleson intercepts. Dying seconds of the period. Cinco trying to enter the zone. It's intercepted by O'Hanley. Plays it towards the neutral zone. Boyle holds right side. Stapleton with 4 seconds out wide. Fires one on net. Chester blocks that one. And well done from the Falcons. Keeping it just a 1-0 game after one.
It was a very good job from the Falcons. It was a very simple game of hockey, which is what we said they'd have to do if they wanted to win tonight. You know, you go back to the basics. When you're struggling, when you're not winning games, that's the best way to do it. You go back to the basics, work those out, and then you can start building.
Yeah, if they start hitting a couple of these outlet passes, you're going to see some offense like Jeremy was saying. They're taking a couple risks and they're getting the icings on it, but if they start connecting, those are going to be dangerous.
From the ice arena on beautiful Gunnar Land, it's 1-0 Tigers after one. I'll tell you what, it's starting to become one of the worst kept secrets in town about how this place is sort of transforming over the last few weeks. Ryan, you've been a big part of this. A lot of the transformations going on around here, but some big plans for the ice arena in general. Oh,
I can't wait to the next thing we show you guys. We got a brand new big sign coming outside. Maybe people driving past won't look like we're closed anymore. I think I'm pretty excited about that one.
Third sheet coming in pretty too. They're slowly but surely chipping away at that.
Everyone knows about that, though. Everyone knows
about that. I'm hoping that maybe we get some curling or something at some point down the track.
Oh, yeah, we should. That would be a fun one.
Either way, the ice arena is an awesome place to come watch the game. It's school holidays right now. Lots of chances for public skating. I know a good Saturday sounds like public skating. Going to the bar, watching a Premier League hockey game sounds like a pretty good plan.
It sounds like a good time for me, that's for sure.
Well, here we are back at the ice arena in Adelaide, South Australia on Gunnar Land. The Tigers have a 1-0 lead thanks to Joseph McDougall's lone mark. It was his 12th of the season. Falcons, though, played a pretty good game, kept the Tigers at bay, and created an opportunity of their own. So we are back underway. Teams will switch ends. Falcons will go the other direction. Falcons in blue, Tigers in white. And the Tigers nursing a 1-0 lead in a 4-game win streak, but a turnover behind the goal. Cinco centering play. Tombleson took a hack at it, and he just had the puck bounce on him. That was a good opportunity.
It was the forecheck, again, that we've talked about when they come out. They just come out firing at the start of the second. The second period's always the hardest for teams because you're so far from your bench that you need to make sure you don't get caught defensively in your D zone for too long.
Yeah, we're really waiting for the Tigers to wake up here tonight because they're dangerous when they do.
Lob pass towards the center, intercepted by Jared Chester, who's played quite a nice game today, but it's a turnover. Ryan Full out wide. He has time to gather. Fire, score! You cannot give Ryan Full that much time because that is what he'll do, and it is a 2-0 game.
Trying to look what he did here. It almost looks like, yeah, he faked the pass. She went down a little bit, just shelved it.
He's very good at picking corners. You have to make sure you're aggressive with him. You can't give him any space, and the moment there's the risk of a backdoor pass, you kind of struggle to play that as a goalie. If anything, maybe just knowing that Zoltarov and Chester were there, you could have used that to be a little bit more aggressive. But it's Ryan Foll. You know, at the top of the broadcast, we talked about the two guys that are always on the score sheet for him. That's his 15th of the season. He knows how to score. Yeah,
it'll put him, I think, into second in the whole competition in goals scored. 15 is a big number.
It is. He's still no Nathaniel Benson. And he's still no Glenn Foll, but he's getting there.
Nathaniel Benson putting together one heck of a season over at the Jokers. He's one to watch. But Ryan Foll, 15th goal of the year, has the Tigers up early, 2-0 in the second period. Tyler Boyle plays it across, nobody home, but Joseph McDougall, nifty little play to keep it himself, fires a shot in, and that one rifled wide. Tigers looking a bit quicker to pull the trigger in this period. McNair evades one man. Flicks it forward to Stapleton. Stapleton backhands it back, and Corey Smith was searching for that. Damon Hoda said, gives it away. Andrew Stapleton walks in. Kick save from Michelle Coonan. Stapleton denied on a point-blank shot. Puck stuck in the, literally stuck in the corner.
In the Zamboni door, yeah.
It is literally stuck in the corner.
I think the Falcons will take that whistle, though. It's been a bit of a panic start to the second period after a really good first shift. That first whistle was really good, but that's a turnover from Hode that he probably shouldn't be having. As a D-Rentala, you might be able to back this up a little bit more, but you wouldn't like to see passes come up the middle like that unless they're safe.
No, you got to sell that board pass first. He came up straight up and went straight for it. If you do the check down from boards then across the ice, you got to get a nice clear lane. That's about the only way that works.
Played around the boards, back towards the right point. Sarchich keeps this in, whipped down in front of the net, and Brandon Taylor was bearing down on Michelle Coonan, tried to get a stick on it, but it was knocked away into the corner. Battle ensues. Ryan Foll, the goal scorer, joins the party looking for another one. This one played back as Coonan places by the net. Zoltarov, backhanded pass Richards, just got to chip it out, but it's held in from the Tigers and goes back behind the goal. Taylor on the forecheck, all over the Falcons right now. The ice seems to be tilted in that direction a little bit, and it'll be backhanded, shoveled out for an icing call.
Yeah, I think that was another smart ice. They had a lot of pressure and nowhere to go. Hopefully they can get something set up and get out of there.
3.5 minutes in, Ryan Foll, Joey McDougall, your usual suspects, the two leading goal scorers on the team, have the 2 goals. Pretty good effort, though, from Michelle Coonan. Draw one, knocked around in the corner, and it's picked up by Ryan Leinonen, jammed away at the corner as the net goes off the side a little bit. We'll have another stoppage in play.
That's another one of those passes that, as a D, you probably would rather see him use the boards. But at this point, I think the Falcons just need to go back a little bit more and get simple with it.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot more simple breakout. Hit the outlet pass, hit the center, and get out of the zone. Maybe some Corey Smith checking would spice him up a little bit too.
Kicked in there from Morris O'Hanley. Ryan O'Hanley, his dad, coaches the team, but Morris O'Hanley plays this into the corner. Cinco back to grab it. Joey McDougall lays the body on him, and Jared Chester looks for an outlet, and he's got some space on the wing if they can get there first, but Glenn Foll uses those legs to get back and cut off the attacking man coming in. Quentin Tomlinson around in the corner, picks up the puck. He's got a man in front. Tomlinson walks right out in front. He had an opportunity. He was held up just at the last second, and this is given away. Chester with the shooting lane, fans on the shot, picks it up again. Chester fans on the shot a second time. A couple opportunities for the Falcons, and nothing comes of it.
Good play, good play.
Back down the other direction. Stapleton turns around the other way. Shots on goal, by the way, in the first period, it was only 7 shots to 6 for the Tigers. Is a big hit. Joey McDougall ends up on the other end of that as that is shoveled in on Michelle Coonan. but only allowing 7 shots in a period for the Falcons is pretty good, considering they've given up 470 against Mateusz Trinka entering this game.
Especially looking at their combined shots, which I think was 28 in their last 2 games. That 6 shots against the Tigers is a very good stat for them as well. And they're going to start putting a lot more pressure on Glenn Forbes-White, hopefully, at this point.
Turnover again. Chester fires a shot. It's scooped up by the captain, Andrew Stapleton. Goes out wide. Stapleton works out down low. Fires it in front of the net. Oh, Zach Boyle was right there. Couldn't bank it home. Stapleton keeps it alive. Plays it in front. Full backhanded play. I think Coonan got a piece of it, and it goes up high over the net and into the corner. Back behind the goals. Ryan Full centering play. Kubik. Oh, again denied. Tigers are all over the Falcons right now. But a combination of Michelle Coonan and a bit of luck keeping the pucks out of the net. But here comes Kubik again. Shovels this one wide. Full off the backboard. Plays it out. Long shot from the point. McNair slapped that one in wide. Boyle grabs it along the near point. Flicks it in behind the goal. Damon Hode. Backhanded. Can't quite clear it. It's finally banked out by Corey Smith. They're not going to get a change out of it, but they will get a chance to catch their breath. Here's a look at some of the opportunities going the other way.
That was a really good drive out wide from Stapleton. And I think Hode there, you can see he didn't really notice that Boyle was behind him. You probably want to see him have a bit more of a head on a swivel there. Notice that there's a threat behind him, but very good pass from Stapleton and a very good save from Coonan, as you see here. Oh, you just missed it, where she got that follow-up save.
Coonan also came out a bit and took that angle away for the pass, so that kind of handcuffs Zach close to his skates rather than having a nice easy tap in.
Draw one cleanly by the Tigers. Back to the point. Sarchich fans on the shot, and now the Falcons might get a chance to break away. Banked off the boards. Holland was looking for it. It was behind him, and it goes in behind the goal. Icing waved off. Morris O'Hanley picks up the puck. O'Hanley. Josh Holland was over him. Quinton Tomlinson trying to create a turnover, and he does. Tomlinson in the slot. Tomlinson fires one. Jai Sarchich got down and makes a big shot block for his goaltender. Kubik knocks it forward. Taylor plays this in. Kubik was a little offside, so he has to retreat back to the neutral zone. How about the shot block from Sarchich?
That was a very good one. And from a forward, it really shows that he has that ability to be a two-way player and to make a difference.
This one will be called for icing. I think this is what we're getting a look at on the replay here, as Quinton Tomlinson walked right in.
That's his second chance of the day where he's had that bright room right in the middle of the ice, and very good block from Sarchich. I think Forbes-White will appreciate that.
Yeah, those little things help your team out, and I think that's why we're seeing the change in momentum here right now.
Tigers got to be careful in their own end. They're starting to turn the puck over a little bit.
Well, they're getting caught flat-footed more than anything. I think Tomlinson's drive to the middle earlier in the period showed that as well.
Yeah, the Falcons seem to be finding little pockets that they're creating some offense from, which they didn't really find in the first. They were taking a lot of longer shots.
Behind the goal, Glenn Full. McNair plays it up, plays it down, tries to clear it out, but a good job from the Falcons to keep this one alive. It's slapped to the point, and here's Joey McDougall. Second breakaway of the day. He's got one already. Oh, and the iron takes away number 2. McNair keeps the puck alive. Falcons push this towards the neutral zone. McDougall just chips this back in. McDougall had the goalie beat, but a goaltender's best friend, the post, comes through.
Yeah, that or the commentators when they talk you up, but I completely agree. I think that it's a very rare sight where you see McDougall miss a breakaway like that, and you definitely can't afford to give it to him as a Falcons defenseman. Yeah,
Michelle really played the angle well across there too. Joey tried to move her left to right, and she stuck with it and made Joey take a bad angle shot.
No, she's very composed in net, and that's what the Falcons can rely on. Is, you're missing your assist machine in Mateusz Trinka, but she's going to be just as effective at making the saves.
Puck goes around the boards. It's kept in by Tyler Boyle. Josh Holland tries to chip this off the far boards. Corey Smith is there, and Glenn Full flicks it down low to Andrew Stapleton. Stapleton dangles around one, cuts towards the slot. Stapleton on the backhand. Oh, and he just couldn't quite pull the trigger. Needed a couple more reps at F45 this morning and might have been able to figure that one out, but it just goes down the other direction.
Yep, Andrew is in fantastic shape.
Oh, my goodness.
He will grind you out in the corner, too. He's so quick. His age does not show.
No, I do love the quote that I think Lena threw out where he said it was a shame that when he was in his 20s he played like he was 40, because he's definitely playing like he's in his 20s now at 40.
Draw one again from Jan Kubik. Boyle shot it for the point. Oh, that goes off the post. Rebound cleared in the slot. Sticks getting tangled up. Coonan finally smothers this one. The Tigers have been within inches of taking a 4-0 lead, but it just remains 2.
One thing Zach did fantastic on that shot, when he dragged the puck across, that changes the angle so the goalie can't track it the same. So watch him step right here, and all of a sudden he pops it off. You see the goalie has to change the angle, and you're creating your own opening on that side of the ice.
That little drag before a shot is incredibly effective to make a goalie move, because you can't tell whether you commit to that little drag or whether you stay in the same spot. So very, very experienced play there from Boyle, which you've come to expect.
Turnover once again. Tombleson plays it back to the point, kept in from Cinco, throws it in on net. That goes off the backboards, and Zach Boyle plays it down low to Chester. Centering play, Cinco in front. Oh, he put one on net. Tried to go 5-hole, and Glenn Forbes-White got down and made the save.
The Falcons are really working on this end. They're really getting some opportunities out of it, too. You know, they do get stuck down there in the second period with the long changes, but...
Here's Full with some daylight. Down low, Coonan, what a save! Robs Taylor, and then Taylor gets dragged down in the corner. No call. Falcons are going to go the other direction. Banked off the boards. Michelle Coonan makes a great save as she's going to might have to do one again. It's a 2-on-1. Full goes out wide off the post and in. Ryan Full gets his second of the game. It's 3-0.
Let's see what he did here. I think he dragged her wide, changed the angle a little bit, and then popped it off.
It was very nice. Very similar to his first goal, other side, but again, he takes that second longer. He waits, he sees what the goalie's doing, and you've got to make sure you don't commit to anything. That was a very well-placed shot.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see it on your screen because it was happening at the complete other end of the play, but I do give credit to Glenn Forbes-White for the stick taps to Michelle Coonan's save. I think that's a very good sportsman-like thing to see, and it shows the community here, even though we go head-to-head, there's a lot of a community aspect, and a lot of these guys do support each other and get around each other, which is very good to see.
Ryan Full with his second goal of the period, pushes his goal total to 16 on the season. Joey McDougall plays this forward, tipped off to Tyler Boyle. He's out wide. Boyle, sharp angle shot. That one goes high off of Michelle Coonan into the corner. Now Stapleton on the boards, off to the right side. Sarchik shot in from the point. That gets tipped, and that one goes up high and out of play.
You're seeing a lot more traffic in front of the net than they did in the first period. I think they're really starting to commit to that play as a team now. So they're a lot less complacent getting it down deep.
They have, and I think Coach O'Hanley's definitely reeled them in here. I think that first period wasn't necessarily what they were expecting. Especially, you're thinking the Falcons have just come off a very disappointing 10-0 loss as well. You know, their morale's low, and this is where the Tigers, being the hottest team in the league right now, obviously after the Jokers because we're just so amazing. No, but they will use that momentum, and they should be abusing the fact that they're coming up against a team that really is struggling mentally and not giving them anything to work on and not giving them any space to get comfortable.
It really makes me wonder how much they're missing Benny, because a lot of the breakouts have been a little bit slower, a little bit sloppier. I think you were saying, Eric, he's been a great addition to the lineup.
Battling down low, Glenn Full was the one that chipped it into the corner. He's working with Tyler Boyle, the most senior player and the most junior player working together on the forecheck. Kept in from the Tigers through Joey McDougall. Plays it right side, long shot, scores!
What a pass.
McDougall to Boyle. The hot streak continues, and it's a goal-scoring parade. It's 4-0.
Now, that was a very nice feed. Unfortunate there that the defenseman didn't get a stick on it. That's an amazing shot from Boyle as well. That's bar down.
Oh, he's got all day because of that pass, though.
It was, and he still chose to one-time it. A lot of confidence there, you know. You probably could have just held that. Probably could have stepped in, taken a shot, but that was a very comfortable shot from a young player that is getting very comfortable in this league. It's very good to see.
Would you say, Jeremy, that's the hardest pass or the hardest shot to stop when it's changing it that far across the ice?
It is, especially Coonan being a goalie of a smaller frame coming across like that. She just got beat up high, which is a very good shot, but an unfortunate one.
It's coming in waves now. Taylor trying to chip forward. Tigers growing in confidence. They're up 4-0. Kubik in the slot, holds, fires, shoots. That goes wide. Still looking for his first goal of the year, and it's not quite banked out of the boards. It goes off Cinco's stick and not cleared. Leinenen just swipes at this one, and it's going to be finally cleared. We talked about Ben Gebert being a big addition. Obviously, he's not playing tonight, but Tyler Boyle came over from the Blackhawks. The Tigers needed secondary scoring, and Tyler Boyle has given them 8 goals from a secondary role with 3 assists to go with it. 11 points in 12 games. That's new career highs for Tyler Boyle in his second year playing with his brother. Leinenen keeps this down. He gets the puck and takes out the stick. Late hit from Taylor. Centering play in front, shot on net. Glenn Forbes-White got the pad down. It just went wide. And now finally Ryan Fohl will slow this down, and he'll just play this smoothly towards the center. Taylor gets run into Corey Smith. Both players a bit slow to get up, but they'll both bounce back up. Sorry, it was Ryan Leinenen that was in the collision. McNair back to play at Tomlinson, chasing him down. Puck bounces a little bit on McNair. He'll welcome the ice cut coming in about 4 minutes. Tyler Boyle out in front of his own net. Throws it out wide. Stapleton enters the zone. Boyle goes to the net. Nice defensive play from Chester to take that away. But Tyler Boyle skates to that one, picks it up. Grabbed by Joey McDougall. Plays this down low. Stapleton pushed off the puck. Chester can't quite clear. Stapleton working against Tomlinson. Stapleton now in the corner, and it's finally swiped out, but not out. And now they lose a stick. Playing soccer behind the goal was Stapleton. McNair pinching in to try to hold the line, and he's going to carry this all the way down low and in behind the goal. The big defenseman, right point. Boyle, shot on net. That's blocked, and the Falcons could be away 2-on-1. They could be away 2-on-0. Shiansky out wide. Shiansky and a Tomlinson. He fanned to the shot. Rebound in front. And Glenn Forbes-White makes the save and even gets the net back on the bearings to boot.
What a defensive play by Zach Boyle there on the back check.
It was an amazing play.
Centering play again. Shiansky with time, space, and that goes a little bit wide. McDougall will pick this up, and now he's off to the races down the left wing. McDougall out wide, man in front. McDougall just fans on the pass, chips it towards the net, and it gets banked off the boards. But you're right, Zach Boyle moments ago with a big save as the puck gets stuck in the boards again. But Zach Boyle, big defensive play to make him uncomfortable. Here's a look at the first chance they got, and it was a save.
Unfortunate too. But no, look, I think we're getting to see a lot more offensive risks from the Falcons there, and that's what we want to see. Is they're doing a lot better. They're doing a lot better in the O zone. They're taking those risks, jumping the zone quickly, and yeah, very good pass and a very good defensive play from Boyle there.
Yeah, Zach got his stick in there, cleaned that up. Basically saved Glenn's bacon there.
Glenn Forbes-White has made a couple nice saves tonight. He's on a really nice streak of games, Glenn Forbes-White. Tigers as a team have only allowed one goal in their last 8 periods. Fohl shoots, scores! It's a hat trick in the second period for Ryan Fohl, and he has tied the goal-scoring lead in the competition. It's 5-0.
Again, you see him start setting up down low. Ryan was left by himself. He's got all day when he gets it there. Yeah,
you need to be aware of a player like Fohl. I think regardless of the score and the situation, there is never a time when you can leave Ryan Fohl open like that. He's been in prime scoring positions, and he's done it for seasons now. So it's just something that you'd like to see. Maybe just Keane there at the back door that was lost and probably should have had a man. That could have been the kind of manning up that you'd like to see.
You also see Kubik is actually starting to slow down his game. Rather than trying to force goals, he's making these passes now. He's trying to get that offense set up down there.
He's now got 16 assists on the season, Jan Kubik. It's going to move him up into the top 10 in scoring in the competition, and tied with Tyler Leeming, a pretty good number, but all of them have been assists.
All of them.
Meanwhile, Ryan Fohl now has 17 goals. Shot in front, and Glenn Forbes-White got a skate on it. Glenn Forbes-White, I'll tell you what, it could be a couple goals the Falcons' way if it weren't for Glenn Forbes-White. That's cleared high out of play. Saying it went off a stick.
Game.
No, it's a delay of game.
Yeah.
So it'll be a delay of game, Dave Galcolin. You can't play the puck and go out of play directly without it being tipped, and it looked like it just went over the zone and out of play.
That's going to be a power play to the Falcons, which with 38 seconds to go, you'd really like them to try at least get a couple shots on goal and the period on a high, and you never know after the intermission and the ice cut what they can come out with. It's almost a different game.
Let's see if Corey gets down in front of the net here and causes some havoc here.
He always does.
So the first Agile Group power play for the Falcons. They're 3 for 27, 11% on the year, and 1 for their last 14. Oddly enough, in 3 games this year versus the Jokers, the Falcons, the Jokers haven't taken a penalty versus the Falcons this season in 3 games. Weird stat for you.
Yeah, I love the Eric Bonar stats.
O'Hanley is going to pick up the puck off a Kubik pass, and finally gathered by Tomlinson. He'll play this forward. It's just fumbled just a little bit, backhanded pass to Kubik, and Ryan Fohl's got 3 goals this period, looking for 4. Fohl shoots, fires, Kunin makes the save, and she'll hold on to it with 24 seconds to go in the period, and 1:25 to go in the Agile Group power play.
Shows confidence down there with Michelle, making sure she's getting back out in front of it even after a couple goals pretty quick there.
Yeah, look, I think unfortunately she's been in situations like this before a few too many times, whether it's in the A grade or the Premier League, and she can do a very good job of playing her game regardless of the situation she's put in.
Bouncing puck goes in behind the net. Kubik picks it up. You wouldn't know it, but it is the Tigers that are shorthanded. We've got a couple shorthanded goals on the year. Left side, O'Hanley fires one in, and Kunin makes the pad save. 7 seconds to go in the period. Can the Tigers get one more shot on goal? It doesn't look like they will, but it was a goal-scoring parade for the Tigers. 3 goals from Ryan Fohl, 1 from Tyler Boyle on a nice McDougall assist. And the Tigers have started to run away with this kind of as we expected.
Yeah, as we expected. They kind of woke up. They're starting to actually play the team game. They're starting to use each other, make more passes rather than try to do it themselves. You felt like they were really hunting for their own personal goals rather than actually using their teammates. Jan really came alive, I think, that period. He really started getting the puck down low. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he did. He's got a couple assists now to his name, moving it to 16 on the season. Ryan Fohl with 3 goals. Other stat leaders. It's a pretty well balanced. We're looking at the stat sheet right now. It's pretty well balanced. You have the 3 goals from Ryan Fohl, but it's a lot of different contributors.
It is, and that's what the Tigers have really started doing well this year. You know, the last couple of years they've fallen short where they were expected to be a lot better because they were only a top-heavy team. That depth is starting to really show this year, and they're really going to start making a push for finals and for the cup, which might be a while coming now.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of good things, small things too. They're blocking shots.
Tigers score 4 in the second. They have a 5-0 lead at the Ice Arena. You're watching Adelaide Ice Hockey on NITV. Back inside the ice arena in beautiful Ghana land, Eric Balnar, Ryan Rentala. And how are you finding your first broadcast debut before we get to this guy over here?
This is pretty fun. Maybe we do it again.
Maybe we do it again. But we're here with the man, the myth, Jeremy Friedrich. You're on the hot seat here, going behind the scenes of some adrenaline players and some well-known South Australian players. So, Jeremy, first off, South Australian, how do you get into playing hockey?
So I was born in Switzerland. I was born with skates on, basically. And then I came here and found out that there was more hockey, and I was like, well, there's no way I'm not playing.
And when did you move to Australia from Switzerland? Because you don't sound Swiss.
No, unfortunately, I've lost all my accents now. I moved when I was 6 years old. So it's been a good, 13 years now.
How many languages can you compliment me in?
I can speak 3 languages fluently.
Compliment me in 3 of them.
Sei un uomo molto intelligente. Tu es quelqu'un qui est très intéressant pour moi. And you're very interesting.
I hope he was complimenting me.
Yeah, I have no idea what he said. Not a clue.
So you're like a super spy. You have how many citizenships?
3.
You can speak 3 languages.
Yep.
How many sports do you play?
Just the one now. I used to play a whole bunch because Mum said that I had to do at least another sport alongside hockey. So I've dipped my toe in a few different things, but hockey always stuck.
So you could be a super spy. That's what we're getting. And what are you studying at school right now?
I'm actually doing mechanical engineering in university now.
Right. I know that you've got maybe some questions about his construction days.
Yeah. Jeremy, what was your favorite construction tool during COVID?
Look, I think everything that I learned from Ryan in construction has completely blown out of my mind. The jackhammer was definitely a fun one because all the videos going around make me feel very uncomfortable.
Favorite hockey memory outside of the Ice Hockey SA South Australian competition?
It'd have to be playing for my country. I got to play for Australia, and I've gotten to do it a few times now. Getting my first win and my first start was amazing against the Netherlands. I think nothing's going to come close to that at this point at least. Or winning Tange, but that's also South Australia, so we'll take that for what it is.
I've got a good memory of you at a preseason AIHL tournament. I think you were 15 years old playing in front of Paul Biznasty Bissonnette, and you impressed him in a big win.
No, that was a good fun tournament for me. I think it was just about getting comfortable, and that definitely stays as a very big highlight in my career as well.
All right, 2020, 2021, a lot of people ragging on it, and reasonably so. It's been an interesting couple years, but I'm done with looking at the negative stuff. I want to hear your best day of the 2020-21 pandemic time. If you could relive one day over and over, what does that day look like?
That's a very tough question. It would have to be probably the first day we went back to hockey because I really missed that. Or going back to work. I work with kids, teaching them how to swim. And that's always good fun. As much as it was fun working with Ryan Rentala in construction, I think being around the kids that are probably as mentally mature as I am was good fun.
Would you trust Jeremy teaching you how to swim?
Probably not.
Any questions for Jeremy Friedrich before we...
No, I think you got it all covered.
Jeremy Friedrich, Ryan Rentala. Now, we'll just quickly touch on this game here, boys. It's a 5-0 game. Where did it go wrong for the Falcons in that second period?
I think they started getting the turnovers in the defensive zone a bit. The Tigers got a lot more pressure than they did in the first 2 periods, and I think that's where it all went wrong there.
Jeremy, what do the Falcons need to do to get a couple goals, get back in the game?
I think they just need to go back to what they were doing in the first period. For me, it's less what the Falcons did wrong, and it's more what the Tigers started doing right. And I think that was the difference in the second period. So hopefully the Falcons use this ice cut, come back fresh, and just keep the pressure up.
Eric, Ryan, and Jeremy will be back with you in the third period. Back at the ice arena, the teams make their way on the rink. A couple minutes to go before period number 3. There's no A-grade stream today, so let's get you up to date on what's been happening in the A-grade competition. We'll start with where we left you last after we watched the Blackhawks come back and beat the Falcons last week on Saturday. Big game, top 2 teams, Jokers, Tigers. Jokers within striking distance. If they can just beat the Tigers, they're in with a shot at the top of the table. What happened in that game, Jeremy?
It was a very good performance from us. I think as a team we came out and did what we had to do. We shut them down, got under their skins, which is a very good thing against the Tigers A-grade team because they always like to come out throwing hands and cross-checking you in the back. So we got under their skins, got a couple power play goals, and ended up winning 4-3. So I was happy with that as a player, goalie, coach, whatever you want to call it, that I did that game.
Which set up an interesting matchup tonight. Entering the game, the Jokers had a game in hand over the Tigers. They were only 5 points back. The Blackhawks, meanwhile, had 2 games up. They played 2 more games, and the Red Wings chasing them and only 1 point up. And Jokers won that game, right? Standing suggests so.
No. Unfortunately, and this is where we've kind of we've blown games we shouldn't have, and that's going to happen in a season. There's no reason to dwell on it. I think we've got a comfortable enough gap at the top, like in the top 2, that we don't need to panic, but we can't let it start slumping because the game before the Tigers was also a loss to the Red Wings. So we're going to regroup here and hopefully put a good chase up against the Tigers.
Next week, it's the Red Wings versus the Tigers. The Red Wings now in a playoff battle to try to sneak in. That's the team that you're involved with and coach. You're playing against a pretty tough team next week. That's what we have next on the live stream, Tigers-Red Wings.
True. So I think we're going to need to actually get them frustrated, like Jeremy said. When you start getting under their skin, they start making stupid mistakes, and that's when you can capitalize on them.
Yeah, I think that, and maybe just bring down a Prem player or 2 because they like to throw excuses around when they lose to a bunch of Prem players. So that's always good fun.
Oh, nice.
So the standings are left at that. Tigers, 12 games played, 29 points. Jokers, 12 games played, 24 points. Blackhawks, 12 games played, 19 points. 13 games played, 19 points. The Red Wings have played 10 games, so 3 less than the Blackhawks. They're 4 points back, so they're 4 points behind, but they have those games in hand. You win a couple of those, and you're sitting in a final spot.
True. Those top 3 teams are really solid. I mean, you saw the Blackhawks take down the Tigers in week 1. The same thing, Jokers have taken one down, too. So that's one thing we need to get over as the Red Wings trying to get over that hump is we need to beat one of those 3. And consistently.
And you'll have a chance to do that Wednesday night. That game is at 9:15. The Red Wings and the Tigers on A-grade. The A-grade streams will be back. Next week is too. We got a blockbuster Premier League matchup in a Red Wings versus the Jokers. Both of you gentlemen will be out of the commentary booth, thrown on with a couple skates and see how you go out there. That will be an entertaining matchup as well.
True. You ready, Jeremy?
Look, I'd like to think it will be. They've given us a very good run, and both games have been very good to watch and very good to be a part of too. They play a very good style of hockey, and it keeps us on our toes. Obviously, we've got the yellow bucket on our side, so Nathaniel Benson will always be bringing out points, whatever he does, just him and his yellow helmet. But everyone else out there that doesn't play the grindy dump and chase game is going to struggle against the team that does.
Speaking of that, I was very upset I couldn't play that game. I was so sick, and I was watching that game, and I was like, man, they're playing so physical. I wish I could have been there for that.
So Ryan Rentalo might be the X factor in the lineup versus the Jokers next week. But to this game, the Falcons are going to open up on the Agile Group power play here. They got a couple opportunities late, but the Tigers kicked it into high gear. They scored a goal in the first period on a breakaway, courtesy of Joey McDougall, but 3 goals from Ryan Full and 1 goal from Tyler Boyle has them rolling. Joey McDougall with a goal and an assist. Jan Kubek with 2 assists. Zach Boyle with a couple assists. He's now got 12 points in his last 5 games, and Ryan Full with a hat trick. It's just the Tigers pulling away. They've got a 5-0 lead. But we're back at the ice arena. Tigers up 5, but the Falcons on the Agile Group power play. Let's see if they can get something going here at the ice arena on NITV. Eric Bolnar, Ryan Rentala, and Jeremy Friedrich joining you to call all the action. Falcons in blue, Tigers in white. And the Falcons with the man advantage as Andrew Zaltarov, the captain, play this in behind the goal. Chipping in down there is Cinco. He gets nudged off the boards. The play will be John Dead. 30 seconds into it.
You're starting to see some movement from the Falcons starting there. Zoli took it wide, got it deep. It rang a little too hard, and they just chipped it out. So let's see if they keep the pressure up down here.
Yeah, they're starting very similar that they did in the second period. Obviously, that didn't get followed through, so hopefully it's a better start this period.
Draw one. Jared Chester throws this in on goal, and it's a nice save from Glenn Forbes-White.
Yeah, he's going to be comfortable with those shots from the point. He's a very quality goaltender, and there's no reason that he should be letting any of the shots from there in.
As a goaltender, Jeremy, how do you feel about coming in? He hasn't faced as many shots at the end of the second.
No, that's a tough situation to be in. You know, if you talk to Mateusz Trinka, who's on the other end of that a lot of the time, you'd almost prefer being in that position where you face the 400 shots that he's been facing rather than facing 10, 15 a game, because you're just struggling to get cold, and you're trying to keep your feet in the game and keep your mind in the game. But Forbes-White is a very experienced goaltender, so he'll be all over that.
Point-blank shot from Josh Holland, and Glenn Forbes-White right on cue makes a nice save, and here come the Tigers. They could be away 2-on-1, but the puck just skates ahead of Tyler Boyle. Slipping on that new ice now, it's his brother Zach Boyle. In on the backhand, centering play was a dangerous puck in the slot, nobody home, and it's grabbed by Josh Holland, who will skate out to his right and bank this out, but the Agile Group power play has well and truly come to an end. Team's back at even strength. Zach Boyle powers towards the front of the net, grabbed by Jared Chester, and it's off the boards and down the other direction, and it slides on in behind now. The shots on goal entering the period is Tigers 17, Falcons 13. There's been a couple shots on Glenn Forbes-White. He faced 18 and 18 his last two. So now he's stopped 50 of his last 51 shots he's faced. That's a nice little form that Glenn is finding.
That's the very good number to look at there. I think he's going to be riding this high, and it's going to take a very high-scoring team to put him off of that streak that he's on right now.
Full scores! Glenn Full! Glenn Full has a goal. His son had a few. And Captain Australia himself, Glenn Full, joins the parade, and it's 6-0.
That's his first of the season too. You know, obviously he's racked up many goals throughout many seasons, but that's just one that Coonan doesn't see at all. That is three bodies in front, and they're all Tigers. You know, the Falcons need to do a way better job of putting pressure on Full there. He can't be left open at the top.
It almost looked like Glenn was just trying to create a rebound and a rebound there.
He was, but he's also experienced enough. He's not like Ryan, who makes a big fuss out of trying to score goals. I think he just does it in his sleep at this point.
And here comes Glenn Full again. He's feeling good now. Backhanded pass to Ryan Full. Hanley with the shot, and it's blocked in front. Glenn Full transforming in front of our eyes right now into an elite goal-scoring threat. Back-to-back rushes. It's now a 6-goal lead. Kubik backhands this towards the center of the ice. It was knocked by a blue body. And here comes Taylor. Ryan Full working down low. Cinco pushes this forward, goes off Solomonov's stick, kept in from Morris O'Hanley, but the puck bounces on him. He has to regather. He's nudged away. Leinonen backhands this towards neutral territory, scooped up by Greg McNair. McNair, a one-time player with the Sydney Ice Dogs in the AIHL a number of seasons ago. This goes off a body, and Brandon Taylor chasing for this. He works away at the middle of the ice, picked up by Ryan Full. He's got 3 on the day. It's the Full family 4. Falcons nothing, if you want to look at it that way. Good day in that household tonight. Pushed up by Corey Smith. Works his way into the corner, off the backhand. Tyler Boyle back there to support, tries to chip it off the boards, but not quite out. Greg McNair tries to retreat. Henry King drops this off. It was a nifty pass in front of the net, but nobody was home. The net off its bearings.
You know what? I'm really loving seeing the speed that Corey Smith brings out there. You know, he's definitely not showing his age. He doesn't stop moving his feet. Good hit on Tyler Boyle. Obviously, he's smart enough to know that it's not a dangerous hit. You know, like Corey will make the right hits, and that's what you appreciate as a player when you're going up against guys that, you know, when you're coming into the Premier League, a lot of guys haven't played a much high-level contact hockey. So, you know, when you see a guy like Boyle out there, you're making sure you're not doing anything dangerous. Whereas sometimes, you know, when you're getting with the older guys, they like to be a bit rougher with it. But no, he's a smart player when he hits.
Yeah, Corey's really looking to inspire the team to get some momentum behind him here.
Trying to rally the troops. They've lost 7 in a row. Last year, they were in the grand final series where they get knocked down to the ice. And I think the Tigers have taken a penalty here. No, or is the puck stuck in the boards again?
Yeah, it looks like it is. But that's all right. I think the Falcons and the Tigers will both appreciate that change in momentum. The Falcons were generating some offense, but they can use it. This line actually, Wegner, Smith, and Holland has done a very good job tonight against the Tigers.
Draw one by Joey McDougall. He's been a monster in the faceoff circle, and Glenn Forbes-White had to play that out. Picked up by McDougall, left side. Here comes Tyler Boyle. Stapleton moves ahead, and the puck was out of the body of Michelle Kunin, but the ref blew it dead, and Matt Wagner
copped on after the whistle right to the face. That's not what you want to see. But good back check there from Wegner to tie up the stick, and probably a little bit lower. You'd like to see Tyler Boyle shoot. I think the very common one is the far side pad, Ryan. I think you'd agree with that one.
If you can catch him on the far side, pops it right out in front like that. It just
does,
happened there.
Yeah, it's a perfect play to make and a very simple one.
Oh, Falcons going on the power play.
Yeah, it looks like McDougall the goon out there just tripping players up for fun. Nah, look, I think that was just an unfortunate stick in the skates.
Yeah, right off the face-off, he's so good with the stick, probably wasn't.
Yeah, you don't want to see it down this end, you're so far from your own net. There's no need to take that penalty. I think McDougall will be very frustrated with himself after that one.
So Joey McDougall heads to the penalty box. He's had a goal and an assist tonight. Let's see if the Falcons can generate something here and break up what Glenn Forbes-White has going. Shot in from the point, and Glenn Forbes-White sticks out the gloves and makes the save.
At this point, I think the Falcons should really be looking to shoot blocker side. He's really got that eye in for the glove. He's caught everything that's gone that side today.
Quentin was there. Quentin needs to go screen him instead of trying to make a tip there. Sometimes you just gotta do the dirty thing, even though it's not the fun thing.
Long shot in from the point from Zoltarov. It was a rocket shot, and it was kicked aside from Glenn Forbes-White. Backhanded towards the center of the ice. Ryan Full was behind the defense, but Zoltarov gloves this down. And the Falcons play this off to the right side.
Oh, Ryan, that is a very good point, though. With the 2D they've got out there on the power play, you need to get some presence in front because Chester and Zoltarov can both shoot the puck very hard.
Yeah, you got to give Zoli some chances back there.
Zoltarov has Glenn Full chasing him down. Zoltarov works wide, stops, has Tomlinson moving in, but he plays it across to Chester. Chester back to Tomlinson, down low to Chester. Chester, sharp angle shot, centers it in front of the net. Cinco is trying to get a stick on it. Goes back to the point. Zoltarov can't hold on, and Ryan Full does a good job of tying up the stick, and it goes all the way back to Michelle Kunin.
Here we go. We like to see him get set up down here this time rather than taking a shot from the outside perimeter.
Only 44 seconds to go on the Agile Group power play as Quentin Tomlinson works in behind the goal. Tomlinson skates all the way from his own end, all the way behind the net, back to the point, stops, change direction, and gives it away. And now Zach Boyle is away with a chance on Shiansky. Boyle works around him and scores! Zach Boyle makes it 7-0 with a short-handed goal. And Boyle continues his very strong play. That's just his first point of the night, Zach Boyle, but he continues a strong stretch of play.
Yeah, and like we said, the Tigers are playing well, Zach Boyle's playing well. They're very unanimous, same with Glenn Forbes-White. Obviously, you get guys like McDougall and Fowl that regardless of the game the Tigers are playing or on the score sheet, a guy like Zach is always popping up when the team's doing well. He's an amazing player to watch.
Yeah, you see what do you think he really did there is he attacked with speed. Shansky was there trying to play one-on-one, but he had that much speed coming in.
He made Kunin move as well, which was a very, very simple thing that is very effective. Unfortunate for the Falcons to give up a short-handed goal as well. I think that's the last thing they needed right now for their push. And realistically, I think it comes to a point in the game where they have to start looking for positives to build on for the next game, not dwelling too much on the result, not getting too chippy or anything like that, because that's when it gets out of hand.
Yeah, let's see if they start going back to the basics like they were in the beginning of the game.
Ryan Full picks up an assist on that, so he's now moved to 25 points on the season, puts him squarely in third, leapfrogging the Jokers' Ben Hanberg up in that stat department. But more importantly, the Tigers just continue to be on a roll. They look well on their way to their 5th straight victory. They'll beat the Falcons twice, the Blackhawks once, the Jokers and the Red Wings. So they've done a number on the league in the mid part of this season. McDougall centering play. Boyle chipping down on that. Goes back to McNair. This pops high and into the neutral zone, and Morris O'Hanley is back to cover. O'Hanley using his size. Right side to McNair. Chip forward. Swatted down by Boyle. Stapleton is there. Stapleton stops down low. Tip from McDougall. That was a nice play in front of the net. It just goes wide. Tyler Boyle back to McNair. Stapleton was right there for the taking if he wanted it. Under 10 minutes to go in the final period. Joey McDougall throws it in on net, lining it. Can't control. It's knocked down once again. Played back to the point. McDougal keeps it in. Stapleton can't hold on. McDougal holds the line, cuts towards the front of the net. McDougal fires, tries to go high, and that one goes in behind the goal. McDougal chases his own rebound, and he turns into the slot in front of the net. McDougal, oh, and Coonan got the pad down and made a really nice save on Joey McDougal.
What a game is he having tonight. He's all over the ice. He's laying the body out. He's making passes, taking shots.
Glenn Full was the one that kept it in to keep the forechecker alive. And finally, the Falcons clear the zone, but it's kind of hemmed in front of the Falcons bench. And here comes Brandon Taylor. He's in front of the net all alone. Taylor gets a shot on net in behind the goal. And Jack Cinco got there to stop the puck from trickling in to support his goaltender.
I think the Falcons D are just getting caught flat-footed at this point. There's a lot of what Dave Rock, our U20's national team coach, would call a handbag, where a guy would skate at the player and swing their stick, and that's the best defensive effort they put out there. And that's definitely not something you want to see at this point in the game, where your D are just skating up, throwing the stick at the guy and hoping that they poke check.
Yeah, they really got to start playing the body, staying in front of him.
Tyler Boyle keeps this one alive. Back-ended from Ryan Full. Brandon Taylor banks it along the boards. Tyler Boyle walks in the slot, tries to go up high once again. He's got that quick release, shows it there, and still not cleared. It's finally touched up. It was a hand pass, so we'll get a whistle with under 8 minutes to go in a game that's going to see the Tigers win, and they're going to move to sole possession of second place at 25 points. They'll improve to 8 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. The Red Wings right behind them, 7 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. And the stats between the Red Wings and the Tigers are eerily similar. Nearly identical goal differentials. Their season series is tied in goals scored and goals against. They've won 1, lost 1, and tied 1. Those two teams in a heck of a battle for second place right now.
They are, and you'd unfortunately think that, if the Tigers had caught this kind of form earlier in the season, it might be a different story. But credit goes to the Red Wings, because they're very similar. They've hit a very good run of form early in the season that propelled them to as high as they are now, and it's about how they maintain that as well. But both teams have done a very good job of finding their feet and getting comfortable with the way they're playing, so it's good to watch.
I just really wish we didn't have that tie in the first game. They should have, let us have that shootout. That's what we wanted.
And that might have made a difference on kind of a siege towards the top of the standings as Boyle fires a shot. Coonan gloves this one down. But on that point, Tigers and Red Wings, it is interesting to watch. They're tied 7-7 in goals for, goals against when they played head-to-head. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie. But entering this game, Tigers have scored 52, allowed 24 in 11 games. Red Wings have scored 49 and allowed 25 in 11 games. There literally is the most minuscule of margins on paper in almost every respect between the two teams.
Yeah, those games are really fun to play, too, against that team. We match up really well. We got them that second game, they got us the third one, so we'll see how the rest of the season goes.
It's almost been like a chess match, I feel like. You tied the first one, and the Red Wings figured something out in game number 2, but in game 3, the Tigers made the adjustment. But here's a giveaway. Here's Zoltarov, fires a shot in on net, and it's blocked, and McNair will gobble this one up.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to, if that becomes our semi-final matchup of Tigers-Red Wings in a series, that'll be a good one to watch for sure.
Yeah, more people probably come to that than the grand finals because you're involved in the grand finals.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we still haven't clinched that, but I think you were saying as long as we win one more game, we've clinched top spot. So I think that's what we're setting our eyes on now, and getting ready to come out and make a mess of the league for the second season in a row. I think that's the eyes that we're setting ourselves on, where if we play our game, that there shouldn't be anyone that can keep up, but the teams have done a really good job of learning how we play and keeping us at bay. So it's becoming a lot more open than the standings would suggest.
Here's a chance in front of the net. Holland scores! Josh Holland, there you go.
And it's that line again with Corey Smith out there, that they always find a way to find each other and make a difference. And I don't think that'll be too much of a blow to Forbes White's confidence, but a very nice shot from Holland. Open ice. I think O'Hanley got caught in the corner there. He's trying to chase back. McNair in front of the net with no one on him. It's a bit of an unfortunate play there from the Tigers. Not really anything too solid defensively. But, unfortunate for Forbes White to break the shutout, but a nice goal for the Falcons to build on.
That was a great play by Corey Smith, getting that puck and then saucing it back out of there, too. That work is what actually created that goal, and that's what they should have been sticking to all night.
Well, he's always been associated with a hard-working player, so it's always good to watch Corey Smith play. Not the flashiest, but he does so much at such an old age. It's amazing to watch.
Taylor sends that one wide, and Zaltara picks this one up, and maybe the Falcons have a bit more pep in the step as this one's sent wide. Glenn Forbes-White has to backhand this off to the left side. Well, we talked about it before the broadcast. Glenn Forbes-White, and again, he's still playing very well. He's only let 2 goals in about his last 60 shots or so. But the Tigers had gone a couple seasons where they hadn't gone back-to-back games of allowing less than 2 goals in consecutive games. Right now, they can potentially make it 3 in a row. That's really what's left on the line for the Tigers in this game.
Yeah, they're on that heater right now. Let's see if they can keep it going, though.
Draw in the neutral zone. Zach Boyle shifts past one man. Off to Ryan Full. Leads Kubik ahead. And Jack Cinco pushes him aside. Plays it right side. Kept in from Zach Boyle. Kubik on the backhand. Around the back. Kubik centering play. Brandon Taylor was right there. Puck bounced over his stick. And it gets banked all the way back down. And it's grabbed by Glenn Forbes-White, who drops this off for Jai Sarcic. Sarcic almost turns that one over. Kubik has to go grab and slow it down before playing it left wing to Zach Boyle. Boyle in all alone, scores! Zach Boyle with another multi-point game. It's his 2nd goal of the game. It's an 8-1 lead, and Zach Boyle keeps doing Zach Boyle things.
He does, and Jan Kubek keeps doing Jan Kubek things. I think that embodies that whole thing we were talking about with the whole team before individual, where he's the kind of player that has 0 goals but racks up so many assists and loves what he's doing out there.
Yeah, that was a great outlet pass to Zach. It was almost like a screen behind there. Zach had all the time in the world. He broke free around the edge.
Amazing play from Kubek, but obviously an amazing goal from a defensive goal scorer.
Andrew Stapleton fires another one. It goes around the corner. But Jan Kubik now with 18 assists. He's got 4 of them tonight. That was the key to victory. It was the we before me. And Kubik came over from these Falcons to the Tigers this year. And he's really provided that team play, hasn't he?
Very true, very true. He's really stepped up they almost see the ice better when he's out there. They seem to trust him and actually make space for each other rather than trying to force it right up the center.
Well, you'd almost think, look, they were always a young team, and it was maybe just that extra set of experience. Like, Kubek has played at such a high level, and in so many different scenarios with so many different players, he brings a whole different wealth of knowledge to the game. And obviously, they're a very North American style of game with Coach O'Hanley, with McDougall, with all these guys that have grown up playing a very similar style of hockey. And Kubek brings something completely different to that, which is amazing to watch as well.
McDougall down low, centering play. Stapleton rips, fires. Big rebound, pumps free. Glenfull, backhanded shot. He's looking for number 2, Joey McDougall. Tries to go between the legs. And Michelle Coonan gets down and makes the save.
Very cheeky there from McDougall. To go.
Those Falcons defensemen got to start clearing the slot out. That puck is just sitting there. They're getting multiple attempts at it in there. They really got to lock that down and just turn it around and get the small wins here.
Well, on the point sheet tonight, Ryan Full, 3 goals and an assist. Jan Kubik, 4 assists. Joey McDougall with another multi-point night. Zach Boyle with another 2-goal night. Tyler Boyle scored. Glenn Full even chipped in with a goal and an assist himself.
Yeah, I think Glenn Full's goal probably outweighs all of Ryan's. That was an amazing one to watch, and obviously Ryan's goals just aren't as flashy anymore.
Long lob past Corey Smith was almost in, but it's Zach Boyle that gloves this down. Ryan Full, can he grab the goal-scoring lead on this shift? Boyle shot him from the point, plays it down low. Jan Kubik still hunting for goal number 1 this year, but he's got now 18 points. Kubik walks in, and he gets knocked down as Zaltara plays this forward, and Holland gets this over to Corey Smith. Played off to the left side. And here comes Zach Boyle with a minute to go in the game. Taylor across the zone, has this deflected high and out of play. We'll get a stoppage on the clock.
The Tigers are just having fun now. You see these long passes, you see big grins on their face. They're just having a grand old time.
They are, but that's what makes a hot streak run, you know. Obviously, we were very privy to that with the Jokers, where I think we went 10 in a row, and it was just the vibe. You know, you're excited to come and play. You have smiles regardless, and the best thing is even when you go down, you have that faith that you're going to come back and win the game. It's an amazing feeling, and it's one that, you know, you really can't underestimate.
Well, the Tigers have looked in control the last few weeks in particular, playing the game on their terms, and they're about to skate away to a 5th straight victory, setting up for a grandstand finish in the local competition. Andrew Stapleton gets pushed off the puck out to the left point. Glenn Fole holds the line just barely. McDougall whips it across. Stapleton in front. Tyler Boyle. Don't know if Coonan got a piece of that or not, but it was slapped into the corner. Tigers still looking for more. They're getting greedy now as Tomlinson cuts towards the middle of the ice. Fires a shot on net. That's saved by Glenn Forbes-White. Joey McDougall flicks this on the backhand back out to the neutral zone, and a big hit that Tyler Boyle laid on an attacking player. Turned over at the center line. Here comes Quinton Tomlinson out wide. Tomlinson up the middle. Joey McDougall backtracks this, lobs it forward, and lobs the team straight to second place in the standings. Tigers 8, Falcons 1.
Tigers clearly had control at the beginning of the second period. Started playing their game rather than trying to play, a little too finessey solo play.
It wasn't complacent, and I think that's what made the difference. And we watched a completely different first period to the rest of the game. Tigers came out, and obviously a lot of credit goes to Forbes-White as well. When he's confident, the whole team's confident. You really can't have a goalie that drops their head in hockey because the whole team relies on him. Regardless of the situation that you're in, is when you've got that positive vibe from Forbes-White, you're going to see that throughout the whole team.
A lot of impressive performance, but who was the Tiger that stood out most for you?
Jan Kubik, when he started making those passes that absolutely stopped what they did in the first period, he started making these outlet passes and people were just left alone to do whatever they want.
For me, it was Tyler Boyle. He looked confident. He was getting into spaces. He was throwing the body around. It's great to see a young guy like that do those kinds of things.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in wherever you are. On behalf of Ryan Rentala, Jeremy Friedrich, producer Brandon, I'm Eric Ballnar. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.